or it can be asked with Galerkin method. So I'm writing the heading. Weighted residual, or in this we are going to study Galerkin method. A small part of mathematics is involved in this topic, so you have to be very attentive. Then only you will be able to understand this. As I have told you earlier, in finite element method, normally we are solving some differential equation, okay, and we are solving with by applying some boundary conditions to get the solution. Normally we are getting the solution in the terms of your displacement, okay. So to explain this method, I will use one example. One beam I will take, which is pin jointed on one side and it is resting on a roller support on one side. Its length is L, and suppose any moment is acting on it, that is m naught. In this direction, suppose your x-axis is there. So at this location, your x will be equals to 0, and at this location, we will keep x equals to length of the beam, that is your L. Now, what are the boundary conditions available? We will write here. On the right hand side, I will write the boundary condition. Boundary condition is at x equals to 0, deflection in y direction is 0 because it is pin jointed. So there will not be any movement of this point in y direction. Okay. So what I will write at x equals to 0, your y equals to 0. Okay, if you will understand step by step, then it will be very much easier to understand this. Okay, now in the same way we can write the other boundary condition. Suppose with the application of this moment, this is the deformed position. Okay, so at the midpoint of this beam, that is when x equals to L by 2, here you can see the slope is straight line. Slope means you can see it is coming like this with some angle, and at this point it is completely flat. So the slope at that point equals to 0. So the slope is represented by dy by dx equals to 0. So this is our second boundary condition. At x equals to L by 2, your slope, that is dy by dx, equals to 0. This is your second boundary condition. Now, for being the governing differential equation that we have studied, I will write here. Governing differential equation that you have studied in your strength of material also, or in the first class we have derived this equation, differential equation of your beam, that is your Euler-Bernoulli beam. It is given by I into E d2y upon dx square equals to your moment varying across x direction. Please mute yourself. Some disturbing noise was coming. Now, here, since we are taking m naught as constant, so we can write mx equals to m naught for all values of x. Okay, so these are the, this is your, I will highlight it. This is your boundary condition and this is your governing differential equation. Okay, so if this question is asked for 10 marks, then for this diagram along with these boundary conditions, I can give you 2 marks. For writing this boundary condition along with that figure, you got 2 marks, and this entire governing differential equation, for that problem, I will give you 2 marks. So if you will write up to here, you will get 6 marks. Now, let us see what is the process to solve this differential equation using weighted residual method, or here we are going to use Galerkin method. Okay, so there are some steps like in finite element method. Earlier we have written or studied that in finite element method there are 3 steps, that is your pre-processing, solution and post-processing. Okay, likewise here also you have some steps to be followed in your weighted residual method. For that, weightage is 5 marks. I will give you 5 points and each point will carry 5 marks. So let us see one by one all of them. Okay. Process I will write here. What is the process to be adopted to solve this differential equation using weighted residual method? Okay. So let's start with point number 1. Start with a governing differential equation that we have already discussed here. So I am writing here, start with governing differential equation. If you will write this, you will get 1 mark. Okay, so 5 steps I will tell you to solve this. Okay, so for each step you will get 1 mark. Now, second step is you have to assume some solution. So let us write assume some solution. Assume some solution equation. This is your second point. Now, what is the third point? This assumed solution must satisfy initial boundary condition. What is your initial boundary condition? X equals to 0. At x equals to 0, deflection at this point is 0. That is y equals to 0. That we have written here. Here, at x equals to L by 2, your slope equals to, that is your dy by dx equals to 0. So, the solution that you have assumed, it must satisfy the initial boundary condition. Okay, so this is our third point. this assumed solution equation must satisfy initial boundary condition. So this is your third point. Now we will clarify it with some example also. So don't worry. Okay. For here, for time being, I can tell you, suppose some function you are assuming like y equals to sine pi x by sine x suppose, or sine pi x. Then you can see when x equals to 0, sine 0 equals to 0. Okay. Similarly, when x equals to, when you will calculate your dy by dx sine pi x by L, okay, you will get that value also 0. So this assumed solution is satisfying your initial boundary condition. Now, fourth point, yes, as you have assumed some solution, here I am telling that we have some differential equation, i.e. d2y upon dx square equals to mx. And now I am saying you have to assume some solution for that y. Okay. So here the term assumption is coming into picture. Assumption. You are assuming some solution. So it will not give you the perfect solution. It will perfect solution. So if it is not perfect, then what will be the difference? There will be some deviation from the original answer. So that is called as error. Okay, you have done some assumption for that solution, but that is not exact solution. So there will be some error in your assumption, and that error is called as your residual. Keep this in your mind. That error term is called as your residual. So that is your point number 4. Because the assumed solution is not exact solution, there will be residual. I will write that term residual in capital letter because this is important. And that residual is also called as error. Remaining. It means there will be some residual or there will be some error in your solution. Okay. Now, the last step, if there is any error, the objective is that you have to reduce your error to 0 value. Okay. So the final statement is force the residual. Again, I will highlight this. Force your residual, or you can also write error, to 0. at various points using various methods. There are so many methods, mathematical methods to do that. Various points using different methods. And here, for this case, we are using the Galerkin method that I have written here. Galerkin method. Okay. So these are the 5 points that we normally follow in your weighted residual method. Okay. So I hope it is clear to all of you, or do I need to explain it once again? Please tell me. Feel free to talk to me. Don't hesitate.
Clear, sir.
Okay, very good. So here, once again, for revision, I am telling you, keep this in your mind, all of you. Okay, what are the process? The first step is start with governing differential equation. So here on this side, we have written your governing differential equation, that is I e d2y upon dx square equals to your mx. Okay, this is your beam equation you have studied in your strength of material, and we have also studied this in first lecture of finite element method. Okay, now for this case, what I am taking mx moment, constant moment m naught for all values. Okay, so step by step, you must remember how you have to write in your examination. This diagram you have to draw. You have to write the boundary condition. What is boundary condition? At x equals to 0 means at this point, there is no deflection of beam in y direction. Why? Because this is fixed. This is pin jointed. So at this location, y equals to 0. So at x equals to 0, y equals to 0. Now, at x equals to L means at the midpoint, you can see the slope dy by dx, that is equals to 0. Okay. So these are your boundary conditions. So coming back to the steps that we are going to follow in your weighted residual method, start with governing differential equation, assume some solution equation. Solution equation, you have to assume something, okay, that we will see as an example. Now, this assumed solution equation must satisfy your initial boundary condition that we have written. Okay, your assumed solution must satisfy your initial boundary condition. Now, after this, step number 4 is saying that since you have assumed solution, there will be some difference from the original solution. And that difference is called as residual, or you can say it as error. Okay, as the name is giving you the hint, weighted residual method. So here that is that residual. Okay, so there will be some residual or some error. So finally what you have to do, you have to force it. You have to make that residual function equals to 0 by using different method. So now, which method we are going to use here? We are going to use this Galerkin method. Okay, so I hope it is clear to all of you. So no need to note it down because this is already being recorded. So you can access this part in your team after this lecture. So I'm going to rub this out. Now we will see that example, how we are going to solve that. One simple example, okay. But if you are not able to solve the complete in your examination, you must write those 5 points, okay. Now let's see. Galerkin method. Now I will write Galerkin method. Okay. Now you can write it out, or when I'm dictating with your running hand, or you can take it after the class is over. In this method, the integral of residual equation are, okay, the residual term that I have used in the previous slide that I have written here, okay, that residual equation. In this method, the integral of residual equation are multiplied by weighing function. Initially, the name I have written weighted residual. So, residual I have explained it to you. Now, the thing is, what is that weighted term in your weighted residual method? So, now that weighing function is coming into the picture. Residual function multiplied by some weighing function, integral of it is forced to 0. Okay, and that weighing function is also to be chosen by you people. Okay, and in such a way they as you are assuming the approximate solution, it means that that also has to satisfy your initial boundary condition. Okay, so I will write here in this method. The integral of residual equation that is your R multiplied by a weighing function. Weighing means that weighted residual that you have seen. From that I am taking that weighing function that is represented by phi is forced to be 0. Okay, so the weighing function that we are using, the weighing function, the next point I will write here, the weighing function are chosen to be the same form as each part of approximate solution. Approximate solution. So this is the statement for your Galerkin method. Okay. Now its mathematical part we will see. that I have written the statement. Just give me 1 minute. Now we will see its mathematical part. What I have written is integral from 0 to L, the product of your residual equation and your weighing function. These two things you have to keep in your mind. The first one is this one, weighing, and this your residual equation. Okay, so for residual equation we are using weighing function, we are using this phi, and residual I am using capital R. Okay, so that I will write from 0 to L phi I into R dx equals to 0. This is the mathematical part that you have to keep in your mind. Integral from 0 to L phi into R into dx equals to 0. That's it. This is the one line explanation of your Galerkin's method. Is this clear to all of you? In this Galerkin method, you have to write these two statements and then you have to write this mathematical equation. Is this clear to all of you? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we will take one example. Okay. So I'm going to clean it and then I will use this equation to show you one example. I will write that same equation, integral 0 to L phi into R into dx equals to 0. This is our equation, main equation, where phi is representing your residual equation and phi is your weighing function and R is your residual equation. Okay, so let me write it. Residual equation, and this is phi is your weighing function. Okay, so now we have to assume some solution as I have told you in your steps to be followed to solve this method. Okay, so first thing I would like to remove that fear inside your mind. I know that you people find it difficult in mathematics, so don't worry, in your examination numerical will not be asked on this topic. Okay, so this theory part you must write at least. What I am telling you, that boundary condition, that steps to be followed, and now this one example, what I am telling you. You must write this part in your examination. So in this example, let us consider this phi I as sine phi x divided by this assumption solution we had made. Okay. Now, if this is your assumption, then solution what will be your residual part? Okay, this is your weighing function. Sorry. So the assumption that I am taking is solution equals to y equals to a sine pi x by L. So this is the solution that I am doing. This is your weighing function phi. So residual is remaining. R will be equals to I e d2 by dx square minus m naught. The first equation that we have written, E into I into d2y upon dx is nothing but m naught. Okay. So if we are assuming this as solution, so error or the residual that we are getting. Okay. Now we will solve the value of y that we have assumed here into this equation. Okay. Then your residual term will become, therefore, this R will become E into I to minus A pi square upon L sine of pi x L minus m naught. Okay. Now how this is coming? When you will differentiate this term two times here, pi upon dx square is written. Okay. So what we are going to do? We are differentiating it two times. If you will differentiate it one time, y is a sine pi x by L. So dy by dx here. So your dy by dx will be a pi is constant, L is constant, sin x is nothing but cos x, cos pi x by L. This is your dy by dx. Now, if you will differentiate it once more to get d2y upon dx square, so d2y upon dx square, once again you have to differentiate it. Cos theta, differentiation of cos theta is minus sin theta. So it will become again a pi and L is constant. So pi square L square sine of pi x by L. So this is what you will get as your double derivative of assumed solution that I have written over here. This is your residual equation now. After this, you have to substitute the value of this phi, that is also sin pi x by L, in this integral equation. Now, if you pay attention here, I have taken or I have assumed the solution as y equals to a sin pi x by L. Now, question is, what is a here? Capital A. That capital A is constant term. That value we can obtain by solving that integral equation. Okay. Now, no need to go in detail how you must be thinking how to do that integration. So don't worry. Just you need to write what each term is representing. Okay. This expression integral from 0 to L, phi into R dx equals to 0, where R is your residual, phi is your weighing function, y equals to a sin pi x by L. You have assumed this as solution. Then you have calculated its double derivative d2y upon dx square, because the equation that we know that we have assumed is your ei d2y upon dx square minus m naught. Okay, so from here you will get your residual equation, and now substitute everything in your final equation, that is integral from 0 to L phi. For phi, I am going to write sine of pi x by L into your residual term, that is E into I E into I, this is our residual term, into minus A pi square A square sine of pi x
Sir,
by
L square,
L.
sir. Sir,
Yes,
L square.
yes, who is this?
Sir, not A square, sir, L square.
Oh,
I square
sorry.
by
Okay, okay, sorry, thank you. So it will be pi square upon L square into dx. Okay, so this is our final equation. All the values that we have written here, we have substituted those values in our main equation. Okay, we have substituted that value in our main equation. Now, when you solve this, I'm not asking you to solve this integral, so it will be difficult. You can say that your A will become 4 m naught L square divided by pi cube into E into I. And this A value you have to substitute in your Y term. The Y, the solution assumptions that we have taken. Y equals to A sine of pi x by L. So A we have obtained this value. So you can write as Y equals to minus 4 m naught L square divided by pi cube E into I into this sine pi x, again it will come sine pi x by L. Okay, so this is the final solution that we have obtained. So only thing that you have to keep in your mind is the steps that you have to follow in this method. Okay, question will be like, write a short note on weighted residual method. So first you have to write down that theoretical statement. Then you have to write down the 5 steps that I have written in the previous slide. Okay, those 5 steps. Then you have to give an example by, suppose you are considering one beam, then you have to write those boundary equation. After writing the boundary equation, you have to write the assumed differential equation, and then you have to use this Galerkin method to get the solution for your deflection. This is your weighted residual method. I hope I am able to explain you people what is this weighted residual method. And by this, our unit number 1 and unit number 2 is over. Okay, now before your mid-1 examination, one more unit, that is unit 3 is there, that we will finish in the coming week. In unit number 3, we will see the finite element formulation for beam element and finite element formulation for truss element. These two very important thing is there in your unit number 3. By that, half of your syllabus is over. So for those students who want at least minimum that they want to pass this course, they should not miss a single question from this unit number 1, 2 and 3. So you all people must prepare yourself for whatever we have taught till now. That is unit 2. In next week, I will give you some assignment, or if time permits, before your mid-examination, I will take your one test, that whether you are reading it properly or not. The notes of this entire thing that we have written today, you can either download that video and prepare your own notes, or I will take the snapshot from my mobile phone and I will upload it in your team and Canva. That's all from my side for today's class. I hope time is also over. If you have anything to ask, you can ask me. Any student, if you have any doubt or any question in your mind, you can ask me. So shall I consider that you people have no confusion or no doubt?
Why you only assume y is equal to a sin ix
Very
by
good. Very good question. Okay. So one of your friend is asking why I have assumed this as only solution, or I can further modify it, why we are using a solution in which some trigonometric term is coming, sine or cos. Why not we can use some algebraic equation? Okay, so you can use that algebraic equation. Only thing that you have to keep in your mind that in your step number 2 or 3, we have written that the assumed solution must satisfy the point number 3. The assumed solution must satisfy your initial boundary condition. Now you can see here what was your boundary condition at x equals to 0, L equals to y equals to 0. This was your first boundary condition, and the second one was at x equals to L by 2, your dy by dx equals to 0. If you remember, this is the two boundary condition that we have taken. Okay. Now you have to pick any solution or any assumption that I have taken that must satisfy these boundary conditions. You can cross check. If you are keeping x equals to 0, then it will become sine 0. Sine of 0 is nothing but 0. So your y will become 0. In the same way, at x equals to L by 2, dy by dx equals to 0. So this is your dy by dx. If we are keeping here x equals to L by 2, so suppose I am writing here in place of x, L divided by 2. So L and L got cancelled. Cos pi by 2. Cos 90 is what? Cos 90 is again 0. So that's why dy by dx equals to 0. So the assumed solution is correct. You can assume any algebraic equation also, or you can assume any other trigonometric function also, but that has to be satisfying these boundary conditions. Okay, so that's why I have taken a simple trigonometric solution for that. Is that clear?
Sir,
Okay. Any other person? Any other question? Or shall we close this class?
Sir, do send that Canvas invitation, sir.
Canvas invitation I have already sent to your college domain email ID.
Sir, but my
we
college
not
domain
received,
is
sir.
not
We
on-
not received, sir. Keep on WhatsApp. Nothing.
Okay,
Keep
so
passing
one
it.
thing I will do, what you will do, those like Tahir 318 and this 353. What is your name? 353?
Sir, Pranay Reddy, sir.
So Pranay Reddy, you do one thing. Whosoever has not received that Canvas invitation, you just send me a message on WhatsApp. So your email address, okay, and you write, sir, please add me to the Canvas. Then I will add your email address to that Canvas account. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So shall we finish the class now?
Yes, sir.
Now, coming 2-day holidays are there, Sunday and Monday, okay. And you people have to keep this in mind that finite element method is not an easy subject. You have to do a lot of hard work if you want to pass this course. So at least in these 2 days, you must give 1 hour time each day for this subject. Class notes I will be uploading to your Canvas. If you have any doubt, you can see this video recording also. It will be in your team. It is in cloud. Anyone can access it. I need not to upload it anywhere. Okay. So Uh, that's all from my side. Have a nice day, and
Sir,
all of you leave the meeting. Ah, yes.
again, question. How you find A, sir? Is only it's not
Ah,
equal to 0, no, sir.
yes. Here you have to make it equals to 0. You have to do this entire integration, okay, and then you have to equate this integral equals to 0, okay. If I went on solving this entire integration, then it might covers 2 pages to solve that, okay. So that's why I have written directly the answer, because many of you are afraid of mathematics, that I know, okay. So that's why I have written directly the answer.
Sir, we should
Then
write
you
this
can
example
solve
in
it
exam.
in your examination. You can directly write like this, okay. If any numerical is asked based on this topic, then you need to solve that integration, because without solving you cannot get direct equation. But as per I have seen your previous year question papers, okay, that also I will upload in your Canvas. uh, on this topic, I have seen only theoretical questions are coming. Okay. So just for your clarification about this method, I have shown you this one mathematical example. You can try to solve this integral at your home. Okay. And if you face any issue, if you are not getting this, then you can discuss it with me. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Any other student? Okay. Now you people can leave one by one. You leave this meeting, or just wait. I will download the attendance, or you will lose the attendance. Download attendance list. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, attendance list downloaded. Now you people can leave one by one.
Sir, is this notes available in PPT, sir?
Yeah. This part is not available in PPT. I will upload it. Before this class, whatever I have taken, that is uploaded.
Okay, sir.
Who is this 321 and 312? Leave the meeting.